right now in the current economy, the way things are very expensive right now, as you guys know. Inflation is very high. Everything is so expensive, and everybody's trying to do the best that they can at the current jobs that they hold. And that's very, very important. So I always try to remain as empathetic as possible when I'm out and about engaging in public with people in the food industry and the service industry. But tipping culture is out of hand, guys. Holy smokes. Have you guys noticed this? I mean, it's really hard to ignore. It seems like everybody and their grandmother, from the gas station clerk to the barista to the server at my favorite ramen shop, everybody wants a tip. And then you're like, well, you really didn't do anything though, you know? Like, it's just wacky, you know? But of course, then I feel bad and I feel somewhat pressured, and I always leave a tip when applicable, not all the time. Like, if all they did was take my money and hand me my drink, that just sounds like doing your job. That doesn't really sound like anything that you've done that's above and beyond to warrant exceptional service rewards, such as a few extra dollars here and there. So the tipping culture being out of hand and being a little wacky right now kind of puts me in a weird spot, because I want to help people and engage with them and reward them for good service. But when you're doing just the bare minimum, that doesn't really warrant anything other than what you're being paid hourly, right? I mean, I'm not crazy to think this, right? I mean, why on earth would you tip the gas station person? Like at the ramen shop that I go to, I mean, like, all they really do is they come out and give you your ramen. That's about it. My favorite ramen shop. I always tip because I like the owner's wife. She's a friend of mine. Wonderful Malaysian lady, very nice. I've been going there for 4 years to eat. So I feel more invested in that place succeeding because I do enjoy the company and the hominess of it all over there. So I feel more inclined to tip because I want to see them succeed. Whereas at the other ramen house that I go to, which is really, really good, exceptional food, really good, I would say it's better than my favorite ramen house, but the service is, it's at the point where it's super professional and efficient that it almost feels like it's cold. You know what I mean? Like, when something's too efficient, it becomes not as inviting, not as warm, and like, when I'm at my favorite ramen house, it's like I feel like I can chill. I sit outside. We enjoy the weather. We have good, exceptional ramen, some gyoza, and we can sit and chill and talk with the owner's wife, if it's not too busy. And nobody's ever like, hey, can you guys move it? Can you guys get out of here? Now, we are sitting outside, so it's a little bit different than sitting inside. Not many people sit outside for whatever reason. But when I go to the other ramen house, the one that's not my favorite, but it's, really equally good, I have some people over there that I know, that I talk to as acquaintances and stuff, but it's ran by a really strict Chinese woman. She doesn't really want the servers to be talking to the tables much. And I understand that. It's a chain. It's in Chicago. It's called Strings. And my favorite ramen house, Sudoku, is my favorite. So Sudoku is really homey. And, the ramen is good, but it's not as good as Strings. But at Strings, the ramen's really good, but the service is cold. It's not as homey. It's not as inviting. They really want you to kind of like get in and out. You know what I mean? And I don't like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that. So, but again, I'm getting off topic here. But the tipping thing, when they just come out and they give you your food and then leave and that's it. They don't come back and check on you or anything like that. They don't ask you if you need anything. Why are you tipping? So oftentimes I only tip 15%. That's the minimum. I think now I heard somewhere it's 20%, but that's just kind of crazy. But it just feels like when people ask you to donate to certain foundations or charities, or would you like to round up today, like when I get a coffee from McDonald's, would you like to round up today for the whatever the hell foundation of the week? You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I always say no when they do that, because I don't know where that money's really going. You know what I mean? And if I'm going to donate to a charity, I do it myself. I just don't tell anybody about it. You see what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be so egregious with the tipping. It's just crazy. And, you know, I know that people don't make a lot in the service industry and whatnot, but sometimes they make minimum wage or usually it's 14 bucks an hour that they're making. It depends on where you live, I guess. But, you know, I feel bad. We're all struggling, but just because we're all struggling right now doesn't mean that they can milk us dry via tipping, right? Like, everybody's out here struggling, you know, especially if you're unemployed at the moment. You know, so it's not up to us as the consumers, as the to burden the weight on our own backs financially, and you know, help your wage. You could just get a better paying job, you know, instead of having to rely so heavily on tips. You see what I mean? So tipping culture is absolutely out of hand right now, guys. I really hope that something is done about it. I mean, like when you go to Starbucks, God forbid, I never go to Starbucks, like ever. I only have one friend that likes to go. So whenever her and I are together, we usually go because she wants Starbucks. And they give you your coffee and they want you to tip. And I'm like, but you didn't do anything, you know, but she always tips. And there's that societal pressure, that social pressure. That doesn't work on me, by the way, but like, she always leaves them a 20% tip, and I'm like, she literally just handed you the coffee. Like, what? You're gonna give her 20% of your tip? Oh my goodness. Oh, it doesn't make any sense. So, I mean, if you're more emotionally connected to the place slightly, like I am with Sudoku, because I've been going there for years, and I've also been going to Strings for years, but it really comes down to, do you like the people? Do you like the food? Do you like the service? Is it homey? Do you feel like you can chill out there and they'll let you, you know, stay if it's not too busy? Then by all means, I always tip, sometimes more generously. And you never know, because when you give, sometimes you get back, you know, not that you should give to return or receive, but you know, like she was mentioning that she was going to treat my buddy and I to some free bowls of ramen because I've been coming there for 4 years. I've always been a loyal customer, and she was going to give us a few shirts from the restaurant. That's pretty cool. So by all means, I'm not saying that you shouldn't tip at all, but like just be mindful, you know, because like really, like the mechanic is asking for a tip. You know, that'd be really, really interesting if the doctor's office was asking for a tip. I'm not saying they are, but like I have heard that mechanics like to try and tip and do all that stuff. So be kind to one another, guys. You know, like I'm not against tipping, obviously, but just be mindful about how much you are tipping and for what exactly you're tipping for, because everybody's getting milked out here inflation wise, and it's not up to us as the consumers to take up the slack for the government's nonsense and the government's lack of skill in handling the economic situation at the moment. So remember that, guys. So take care, be well, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.